The parachutes were in place. The life raft was secure. The only thing missing from the crash was the crew. August 16, 1942. The California coast is on high alert. Just months after Pearl Harbor, the fear of Japanese submarines is very real. Rising into the sky from Treasure Island near San Francisco is the U.S. Navy Blimp L-8. It's a routine anti-submarine patrol. The two-man crew are veterans. The pilot, Lieutenant Ernest Cody, and his co-pilot, Ensign Charles Adams. This is a mission they've done a dozen times. At 7:42 a.m. they radio in, reporting a potential oil slick on the water below, a possible sign of an enemy sub. Their last words were calm, professional. Everything was nominal. Then, silence. A few hours later, beachgoers and golfers look up. They see the L-8, drifting erratically from the ocean, losing altitude. It gently scrapes a cliffside, then floats inland, finally collapsing onto a residential street in Daly City, its gas bag deflating like a tired sigh. Rescuers rush to the scene, expecting the worst. They cut their way into the gondola, preparing for casualties. But what they found inside was far stranger than any crash. It was a perfectly preserved crime scene, with no victims. This is where the riddle truly begins. The interior of the gondola wasn't a scene of chaos. It was a scene of eerie, undisturbed order. The investigation revealed a series of baffling clues. The confidential papers and the top-secret Norden bomb site were secure and untouched. The two parachutes were in their proper place. The inflatable life raft hadn't been deployed. The radio was in perfect working order. The engine switches were on. There was no blood, no sign of a struggle, no sign of fire. One of the crewmen's caps was on the dashboard. Some reports even mentioned a half-eaten sandwich. But the most critical and confusing clue of all was that the gondola's doors were latched open. This was a standard safety procedure for low-altitude flight. But it was also the only possible way the men could have exited the aircraft. The L-8 was a perfectly functional airship with absolutely no one flying it. It was a ghost ship in the sky. So what happened to Lieutenant Cody and Ensign Adams? The official U.S. Navy investigation was extensive, but it only deepened the mystery. Theory number 1. A simple, tragic accident. This is the Navy's official conclusion. The theory goes that one of the men, perhaps leaning out to get a better look at the oil slick, lost his footing. The other man, trying to save him, fell out as well. It's plausible, but is it probable? Two experienced officers falling out of their own aircraft, one after the other, without a single radio call. It feels incomplete. Theory number 2. Foul play. Could there have been a fight? A murder-suicide? Investigators found no evidence to support this. The men were professional colleagues with a clean record. And again, this theory doesn't explain the complete disappearance of both bodies from the open ocean. Theory number 3, the wartime favorite, capture by the enemy. It's a thrilling idea. A Japanese submarine surfaces, snags two men from a blimp just a few hundred feet above the water, without a single witness, and then they just let a valuable U.S. Navy airship float away? As a relic riddle, it's a fantastic story, but as a military reality, it borders on the absurd. For over 80 years, the fate of Cody and Adams has remained one of World War II's most enduring cold cases. No bodies were ever recovered. No wreckage from a struggle was ever found. The Navy officially declared them dead a year later, the cause listed as unknown. The L-8 blimp was repaired and returned to service, a perfectly good machine haunted by a perfectly unsolvable mystery. It became a ghost ship of the sky, whose two crewmen simply stepped out of the world somewhere over the Pacific, leaving behind a few open doors, a couple of parachutes, and a riddle with no answer. This is one of the strangest and most frustrating cold cases of the war. What's your theory on what happened to the crew of the L-8? A tragic accident or something else entirely? Let us know your best guess in the comments below. If you're fascinated by the hunt for answers to impossible questions, become a fellow relic hunter by hitting subscribe.